Hi YouTube, I wanted to make a video about my experience getting butt augmentation, and essentially I am making this video because it was really hard for me to find any information out there when I was researching. It's something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I researched this for about a good 4 years, and it was very difficult making the decision between doing a BBL or basically butt implants. So since I haven't seen many butt implant videos, only BBLs, I decided to do kind of like my experience, how I felt. I'm actually only about 4 weeks post-op, which is like finally just getting comfortable sitting again. And yeah, so basically I'm just gonna jump right into it. I kind of have notes on my phone, so it'll help me kind of go along throughout this video. I'm from Seattle, and we have a few surgeons here that are awesome, but I didn't find anyone that personally suited for me for butt implants, so I decided to fly to LA, and I met with Dr. Ryan Stanton. I stayed for about a week long to recover. One of my best friends came with me. I'm super thankful. There's no way I could have done it on my own. It was a pretty tough recovery for anyone who's had breast implants. They're kind of like that, except times 5 to 10. So you definitely need help doing basic things. I couldn't bend down to put my pants on. It was in quite a bit of pain. It felt like I had worked out every single day for the last year. It's very, very tight. I got 500 cc's, which I'm super happy with the size. I wish it could have gone a little bigger, but similar to butt implants, you can only go to a certain size the first time. You can definitely increase the size, but because the muscle is very tight and they're putting it underneath the muscle, there's only a certain amount that they can fit. So for me, it was 500 cc's. The pain was definitely, I would say, close to an 8 for me, and I have quite a high pain tolerance. I've had a few other procedures done, and this one was definitely the toughest and the longest recovery time. I have not worked at all pretty much for the last 4 weeks, and also a week before that, even before my surgery, just because I want to be relaxed and not stressed out and that sort of thing, because surgery is a big almost trauma on your body, so you want to be as relaxed as possible. And like I said, it was hard but worth it. There's not any time during my recovery where I was like, oh my god, this is unbearable, I can't do this, it's unimaginable. It was definitely tolerable. It just was painful for the first few days. So it's not one of those things where like, oh my god, I wish I didn't do this. If you can get through it, you'll be fine. Obviously, once you're there, so there's nothing else to do except recover. I think it's almost the anxiety before the surgery that's almost worse than the recovery itself, because you just don't know what to expect, and it's one of those things where you don't know until you know, obviously. I say if you have a high pain tolerance, you'll be totally fine. If you have a lower pain tolerance, just be prepared to, you know, basically have it be painful, but know that you'll be okay. So the things that helped me for my recovery and were something that a lot of people have asked is definitely wet wipes, always, because of where the incisions are. Every time you pee, you want to make sure that area is super clean and sterile. Oversized sweatpants, like way oversized. Like I had some pretty oversized ones, but 2 or 3 times bigger. You can just roll them down, is great, because the skin on your body is so sore to the touch that you just do not want fabric touching you. So essentially something really baggy is great, because that way it's not tight on the skin. Even from where I got lipo, my back is still numb. And it's very strange feeling. It's almost like someone else touching you. It's very weird. Or like when you get Novocaine, like your mouth's kind of numb or something like that. It's like that on your back. So you definitely don't want anything touching the skin. So oversize everything is recommended. Definitely a Bbl pillow. So essentially they're basically like little pillows that you put underneath your legs. They take the weight off your butt. There's great ones on Amazon for like 40 bucks. I'll link it below, the one that I used. I haven't really used it that much outside of just the plane ride, and that was what saved me the most, just because I was able to kind of hold myself up and then have that underneath me, which made it a lot more comfortable. So, and the plane ride back really wasn't as bad as I expected. That and the surgery itself I dreaded the most. And I upgraded to first class, which I highly recommend to do if you can. Obviously spending a lot of money on the surgery and the trip, etc. quite expensive, but definitely worth it just because you have more space. So obviously normally like the seats are quite narrow, but you want that extra space so you can have more like space to hold yourself up, like I said. And I guess you can also recline a little bit more because there's just more space around you. So plus the flight attendants were amazing, super grateful to them, so they made it worth it. Ice packs you can reuse. Definitely recommend the ones you can buy. You can throw them in the fridge, use them all over and over again. They're pretty cheap. They're like 20 bucks each at CVS, maybe a little less. And obviously those things are good forever, so you can always use them for a headache or whatever else in the future. So definitely recommend those. You'll be there for at least a week. So I stayed at an Airbnb. And one of the things I recommend is like ordering food. So obviously restaurant food 3 times a day, or who knows when you'll be hungry, is inconvenient because you don't want to wait 30 minutes to your food delivery. And also restaurant food isn't always that healthy, and for a week and for recovering from surgery sometimes you just want comfort food. So what I used Instacart, which is an app, like a grocery app, and essentially just ordered all my groceries off there. My friend also was really smart and packed a bunch of dry pasta and pasta sauce jars and checked it, so we had like snacks in between. I mostly ate like applesauce, mashed potatoes, oatmeal bars, lots of drinks, essentially anything that you find kind of comfortable, like comfort food that's kind of soft and mushy and bland for the first day or two, because really you're not going to want anything else anyways. So also one thing that I forgot but I wish I had was a maxi dress for the airport on the way back home, just because I was so tired of being in sweats and it was hot. Obviously LA is warm depending on what time of year you go, so just something airy would have been nice. And also it hides more because I had to wear a pretty bulky kind of garment around the lipo, which is, it's kind of like a waist trainer except with padding underneath, because the lipo has to stay flat. You don't want you want everything to stay nice and basically that nice contour that he gave you. So that would have been nice with the maxi dress, but unfortunately I forgot that. Like I said, I stayed in an Airbnb really close to the area for about a week. For transportation we just used Uber to and from. Even after my surgery it was Uber, which was, I definitely would say like renting a car might be worth it if you just don't want to deal with the hassle of calling an Uber, like falling into the Uber, because you're pretty much like penguin walking. You are shuffling, you cannot really lift up your legs at all. And I pretty much just fell into it. Like I couldn't really step down, or step up. So it was definitely interesting. Thank God the ride was only about 3 minutes, so it wasn't that uncomfortable for that long. And then I pretty much just passed out into my bed at the Airbnb. Another thing to look for if you're staying Airbnb is to make sure the beds are fairly low, because again you can't really like step up onto them. It's easier to just fall onto it, if that makes sense, from your stomach. And I'll definitely include some photos in this video. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask below. I don't know what other things that you're interested in, or maybe I'll do like a video once I'm farther out. Obviously I'm only 4 weeks right now, so sitting is pretty comfortable as long as I'm on soft surfaces. So hard surfaces are still a little uncomfortable, but I'm kind of getting used to it. At first it felt like sitting on a pillow, like I was literally raised like about an inch or two. It was like, whoa, this is weird. And now it's starting to kind of more feel like fat, like it moves around more now. It's not just like a rock hard implant. It's now getting like softer and squishier as time goes on. I'm assuming that will keep happening. When I felt the implants, they were actually really soft. I was really surprised. They're silicone rubber, not just regular silicone. So breast implants are generally silicone or saline, and their silicone is quite squishy. So, but this is a little bit, the implant feels different, but it's still quite soft. So I was very surprised. Dr. Stanton makes his own implants so that they're a little bit longer. A lot of butt implants I've seen are just the round ones, which doesn't quite give you a natural look because obviously the butt is quite long. When it's just round, it just stays in one place. It doesn't conform to the whole butt. So I have had a few other procedures done. If anyone's interested in hearing anything about that, I'll definitely make a video. But yeah, hopefully this is helpful to anyone looking to get this procedure done. I know for a fact that seeing a couple other videos like this helped me in making my decision, and it's definitely hard when it's something that's a big deal to you or something that you're really excited about, but unfortunately just not a lot of people talk about it. So, but anyways, thanks for watching. Click the like button if you want to show some love, and have a good day.